Hey Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. How is everybody? Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is the Mystic Leo. My name is Anna. I'm a very proud Leo. Paws up top. All right, high five. This is going to be your general reading for the week. This is where we get a good look at what to possibly expect for this week. Please take what resonates for you. Leave the parts that do not if nothing resonates on this video. I have plenty of other videos. We'll also look at money, love, career. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and we'll throw in the Venus sign, all right? You have new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. Bam. New moon in Aries. It's time to do something, Leo, instead of talk about it. We're not going to talk about it no more. We're going to be about it. All right, babe? Let's move on here and see what other information we get regarding this week, Spirit. Guys, please don't forget, if you like this video, make sure you tell me by hitting the like button. I truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. We have a new dawn, card number 3, and I'm going to go ahead and read this one for you guys since this is a new deck for me. Okay, it says, listen, Linda, let me put my little dollar stores on. Oh, look at that, I can see. All right, it says, make one small comfortable change in your life that you have been thinking about for a while but haven't yet felt daring enough to implement. Now is the time to be brave. So this really is about taking new steps. It's encouraging you to take a risk because this is the next chapter for many of you. And we have I believe it's Leo and Venus happening right now. So, oh wow, that's so funny that I'm just going to keep that and read that too. That was stuck to the back of here. I feel like that's a message. You know, so we have a very powerful shift. A lot of Leos, I know, babes, I know we've been talking about it for a long time, but a lot of you are going to start seeing a big shift energetically in your life. Money, love, career, all these, like the things we've been waiting on, especially with relationships, all right? Now it says, practice being mindfulness so you can slow down and ask yourself what you really want from life, and then work on what is holding you back. Life is about making choices, but sometimes the choices you make are just quick reactions that are not very well thought through. You then believe you're stuck with them. A big red flag this card signifies is the compulsion to act nice and smile instead of facing a situation that may initially need conflict to resolve it. So there may be some situations you guys need to deal with this week. Leos, we can be really good at that, and we can also want to rip your face off. So, you know, just choose what you want to do. The need to be liked can be stronger than living an authentic life, so be true to yourself first and foremost. So this is basically saying that if you're getting this new dawn card, there may be you replaying childhood patterns, things that are making you unhappy, and the thought of changing it may make you feel very uncomfortable. But this change is coming, Leo, and it's great because I think that many of you are developing the courage, or at least you're being encouraged to go ahead and face some of the stuff that you need to, so you can just start moving on here. Okay, my dears? All right, let's go ahead and get you an angel number. We'll see one of your biggest challenges. I am going to move on in just a minute, and we'll look at our tarot cards, and we'll look at money, love, career, okay? All right, you have self-care, 789. Practice self-care. Ensure you are getting enough rest and engaging in activities that bring joy to your life. Okay, love that for you. Let's look at your big challenge. I broke my middle fingernail. No, it wasn't because I was overusing it. I don't know why. It just was really soft. I don't know, it was brittle. All right, let's see what we got here. What's the biggest challenge this week for Leo? Oh, you know what, guys? I said I was going to read that Eternal Self card, and I will. Okay, give me a second now that I got this out. The Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. Okay, this is the challenge this week. It's card number 12. Let's read that real quick. And this says, your highest destiny is within reach and you're on the right path. But as a challenger, it says this is challenging you to see your higher purpose in all events that are happening in your life. Not everything is meant to come to pass according to your specifications. If you can't see the forest through the trees, stand back for a while and let the Eagle King fly high on your behalf. Perhaps it's time to speak to someone who has objectivity and an ability to see the bigger picture where you don't. Maybe some people might be going to therapy, right? Or maybe you just find some sort of mentor or somebody with a wisdom, a third party that can look back at something when you're talking to them and give you a neutral feedback, okay? It says, just remember that even when things don't go the way you expect, there's always a reason for the detour, okay? Always a reason for the detour, guys. All right, let's look at this eternal self really quick. Here you go. This is card number 23. Okay, and it says, I have had this one before. It says, Atman in Sanskrit is the word for eternal self. It refers to the real self beyond the ego and the human form, and a self that survives beyond death. The eternal self card embodies the concept of Atman, representing the part of your soul that inhabits a human body to live a lifetime on earth. The soul sends a beam of light like a hologram to play in the earth classroom. You came here for a reason and have a set of goals to fulfill while you are here. Your current lifetime is a quest you accepted long before you were born. Your quest could be to do what makes you happy and follow your dreams, even though others may be trying to stop you with logic and permission, or it could be to master the art of focusing on your goals without distractions or procrastination. Perhaps your goal is unconditional love or stepping into your personal power, or it could be to release family trauma so the bloodline of ancestral suffering finally stops with you. That's mine, personally, actually. That's mine. Do you know what yours is? I knew what mine was from a very young age. I was told by somebody, and I understood it as I grew up. It says, as you heal, so do your ancestors and descendants. Amen. Thank you, Spirit. This card has appeared before you to remind you that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Yes, you are. And so I have this video about spiritual bypassing. I don't know if anybody's watched it on my other channel, but I've been having a lot of discussions on this where people are so far outside of themselves with their spirituality that they're missing the whole point of being in a body. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The people that are constantly using plant medicines and all of these escapes where they think it's getting to what they're really looking to find. And the thing is that we're here to have a beautiful human experience. This is the playground. This is the school that grows our soul. So yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that. Anybody else have thoughts on that? Because this is like one of those big conversations, and it's literally made me want to start a podcast over it. The spiritual bypassing is actually being so uber out there that you're not even getting to the point of which you started, which is quote, quote, the healing process. And those people that are constantly doing nothing but healing, y'all know what I mean? Yeah. If you feel me, holler in the comments. Anyway, this says, this card asks you to be fully present in each moment, to taste, touch, smell, and feel every emotion, and truly enjoy your glorious human body. Existing in spirit form is your natural way of being, but there is nothing like the human experience. It is made to feel so real, and so relish it. Okay. I love that one. I am a huge fan of logic and spirituality because I think, as I said, we're spirits having a human experience. We're given this logical brain for a reason, and we're also given the spiritual body for a reason. So, all right, Leo, moving on. We have protection. Some of you could find out you're pregnant. It is a pregnant woman. All right. So spiritual protection this week, or protection from any hurt, harm, and danger. We also have financial health. Look at that. Finances are improving this week. That's beautiful. I love that for you, Leo. And we have the strength card, which is great because the strength card talks about making bold moves, but also not making bold moves because you're moving in your primal self, anger or, let's say cheating. People cheat. It's very primal to do that. It's very primal to want to engage your body in that type of energy, right? So it's about I always feel like strength goes along with temperance, being patient as well. So you may need to be patient on something, and you may need some courage and some strength this week, okay? So let's get into the reading a bit. I do have a closing angel message for you from angels. You know how I do. And I got my little other cards to see what kind of other things are coming your way this week that you might need to know about, okay, my dears? So if y'all need to see these cards, I'm going to move it here, and I'm going to put these down here as well. Let's talk about money and career real quick. Let's see. Show me the path of money and career this week for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. Some of you are recovering from a financial situation, which is, not bad. We have the King of Pentacles, so it's telling me there could be some improvement. And we have the Temperance, but the improvement is coming through the Temperance, which is patience. It is coming because you are taking time and you are moderately spending your money. So your budget may be a little tight, but this is good. It's just that the Four of Swords reminds us that we can't ignore what's happening in our financial situation. Some of you with King of Pentacles, you may be building too on your career at this time, or trying to figure out how you build up your career. You may feel like you are feeling restless where you're at. You may feel restless too with the Four of Swords. But Temperance also is like taking where you are and creating something new with it, right? So maybe asking yourself this week, what is this experience on my job trying to teach me as well? Okay. And even going through money things, money is very much connected to our value of self. I talk about this a lot, like in the coaching space, we always discuss money and value of the self. And plenty of people will say, well, I love myself and blah, 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 but they're flat broke. Well, something's going on there, right? Something energetically is off. So I see an improvement here for you guys, but it's going to take having some discipline. That's kind of Temperance a little bit too, is like discipline with your spending. So that you can heal it, okay? And I get it. Some of you may also feel restless in that you want to be able to spend money and you feel like you can't right now. So I do think a time is coming here with things improving that you're going to work up to that, okay, my loves? So this is nice. Some of you could also be beginning to talk to somebody at the job that maybe initially you had some issues with as well. Could even be a boss. You may be working on healing this connection. So this work is very much about healing this week in ways that are taking some sort of action. Okay. Let's look at love. Let's look at love. All right. I'm not going crazy deep this week. I feel like I don't always go crazy deep. Sometimes I do. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, we're going to keep that as overall energy here. All right, talk to me about Leo and relationships. Leo in relationships this week. What can they expect? Leo in relationships. What can they expect? We have the Two of Swords. Leo in relationships and connections. We have the Nine of Swords. It's not looking good so far. Leo in relationships. Four of Cups. What the hell? This is some boring ass shit, right? What's going on with Leo in relationships? Ugh. Ooh. Queen of Swords. Somebody in a doghouse. So Leo. I'm still going to clarify this, but let me take a look at your biggest challenge in relationships. I cannot talk today. Biggest challenge, Ten of Wands. Okay. Let's see. What's the potential outcome? Potential outcome, High Priestess, advice, the World. Okay, Leo, if I just look at this, it says to me that some of you have decided to be single or you want to be single. The problem here is that you may feel a bit conflicted or a little bit stuck. So there's a lot of anxiety this week. The Four of Swords tells me you're contemplating maybe the ways or means to go about doing this. There is the Queen of Swords in reverse. And this is somebody who is callous, very cold. I don't know if your partner's being this way. We're going to clarify a little bit. But there's something too about like wanting proof of something. Maybe somebody lied and you're like, okay, give me the proof. Like if it's X, Y, and Z, then like you should have a receipt for that, or someone knows that you were there, or you know, these types of things. So I'm seeing this type of energy here. The biggest challenge is the Ten of Wands, dropping that nasty, big fat, disgusting load, okay? Letting go of that stuff, and also burdens that you tend to take on for yourself that don't belong to you, okay? So take this as it resonates, because for some of you, it's going to be a relationship. Some of you, it's a friendship. It's somebody in your family. It's going to be a friend, okay? Let's dive in a little bit more, see why we have Nine of Pentacles. Why do we have Nine of Pentacles? Somebody got too, I feel like somebody got too damn comfortable with you. You know, they just got too comfortable. You can't come to my house and put your damn feet on the couch. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups, so this definitely has to do with a relationship. What's the Two of Swords? The Emperor, Nine of Swords. Six of Swords, Four of Cups. Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords, please. In reverse, the Devil. Now, what did I say? Somebody is lying ass. All right, let's take a look at the biggest challenge. Ten of Wands. Six of Wands. Okay, I'm going to stick this here for a sec. So what I'm seeing here, this is regarding a relationship. Maybe somebody got a little too comfortable with you, but also this is, you know, expressing our love, things like that. I do think that somebody may be trying to express to you they care about you, etc., or this is just really reading as a love connection, okay? We have the Two of Swords with the Emperor, Aries here, and I have Capricorn with the Devil showing up. So you could be dealing with one of those people. I also have Pisces, and I have Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo. So what I'm seeing here is just a conflict, maybe trying to keep your anger in check or your emotions in check, because the Emperor is very like demanding. It's a person who knows what they want. It's a person also who needs to have, they take action, but they take action based on facts and information. And I think Aries with this Emperor is one of the more, they're not always emotionally regulated, but I think they take a lot of things into consideration, because they're not a king, they're an emperor. So an emperor is bigger than a king. And an emperor has to be very smart, intelligent, and also take steps. And I think you're being pressed to take a step here after feeling very stuck on a connection that many of you have been in. Some of you think you can get better love, and I know you deserve it. Nine of Pentacles. This is somebody who deserves the very best. You know, they like luxury, they like their independence, but they want this coupled with the Knight of Cups, some romance, right? So maybe you're in a situation where you don't have any romance. You have the Nine of Swords and the Six of Swords. So this is really talking about moving on and having maybe some anxiety about leaving the situation. It could also be your person, so feel free to reverse it. If I'm not telling your story, I may be talking about the person that is in your story, All right. We then have somebody taking you for granted, you know, falling into a rut here too, if it might be you. And the Ace of Wands. There's a good opportunity here for somebody in this connection, but I think somebody's failed to recognize that this is a good opportunity for them. All right. Now, some of you may be debating getting out of the relationship, but you have an opportunity here to do it. Why? Because again, the demanding proof. Somebody wants proof here. Somebody's not telling the whole story. Okie doke. I feel too, there could have been somebody who traveled or wants to travel, and there's something behind it. Like maybe they're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna go see my old friends, but they're not telling another side of the story that maybe you've seen or you heard something about. Okay, so there may be a bit of a trust issue here. Now, I do feel like there's lies, like somebody's lying here. And I don't know if it could be you who feels like you have to lie. You can't tell this person the truth about how you feel yet, and this could be what's holding you back. But I definitely feel like somebody's been dishonest here, and now is the time to do something about it. The thing is that probably the connection may have a lot of things that you're looking for, but the fact that somebody could lie to you blatantly in your face when maybe you have some sort of proof, yeah, that's ignorant. Okay. Anyway, the biggest challenge is the Six of Wands, having a victory or success at letting go of this. You know, the Ten of Wands is when we come to the end and we're like, damn, I need to put this shit down. Otherwise I can't walk anymore. I can't carry all of this. So I definitely feel like that's your biggest thing, is like overcoming the challenge of letting it go. But deep down, I think many of you know, Nine of Pentacles, you'd feel better maybe without this person. Now we have the High Priestess as a potential outcome. That is trusting your intuition. So that's part of what you're going to do here, is trust yourself. Why do we have the High Priestess? We have the Page of Cups and the Lovers. Interesting. I think some of you know this person, if you split up with them, is going to want forgiveness and want to try to work that out with you. But if you are the one who's done wrong, Leo, if you are the one who has not been honest, your potential outcome is that you decide to be honest and tell the truth, I think. I think you make a decision here with the Page of Cups. And that's apologizing. Letting this person know what you were actually hiding. Okay? So either your person is going to do that to you. If they were hiding something from you, they're telling you, here's what it is. Okay? Or you're telling that person. Alrighty? Okay. Let's look at the world. The world is completion. It is the beginning. It's a new start. It's the what's next. What's the world as far as the advice? What's the world? You have the Eight of Cups. Some of you may walk. Okay, some of you may walk. Some of you may need to leave behind the emotional attachment as well. You may need to leave behind the emotional attachment in order to move forward with this person, right? Because you're like, why did you lie? Why did you do this? It makes no sense. If we're supposed to trust each other, why would you do this? This has been keeping some of y'all awake at night. And you're like, I just need to confront this. Maybe I need to be honest with this person. Maybe I need to tell them I've been hiding some stuff. If it's them, it's the other way around too. Okay? So your advice is, I think, walking away from the emotional attachment of it and the world. You know, closing the old chapter and finding the new chapter in this if you continue to stay with this person. Some of you, I think your advice is just walk away from it. Because if somebody could hide something and be dishonest with you, you know, what else are they lying about, right? Like, what else? Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to take a look real quick at the sangles and see what's coming up for the sangles. Actually, no, I'm not. Hold on a second. I'm going to get a card on this. Guys, I be all over the place. When I don't put my notes right in front of me and I just wing it like I am right now, I be forgetting. All right. I'm just going to get 2 or 3 cards for the singles, real general, and see what's going on this week, okay? But let's see. Let's close up this reading. Okay, you have the dragonfly, lighthearted, adapt, finding out and change, things coming to light, and healing. Okay, I think it's about time the truth comes out. Yeah, I think it's about time the truth comes out. All right, let's see. Let's see what else. And we have backstabbing, heartbreak, pain, separation, loss, deception, lies, and shocking attack. So, Spirit said, nuh-uh, not today, okay? This person was doing some nasty shit behind your back. All right, my loves. Let me get 2 or 3 cards here for the singles. Let's see what's going on with the singles, please. Okay. Ah, and the star. Okie dokie. Some of y'all trying to keep hope alive. You have the King of Cups, you have the Star, and you have the Hangman. You could be meeting a Pisces or an Aquarius here. All right. This week it does look like you might just be keeping the hope alive, okay? Or maybe like connect with somebody who's a little more on the mature side, a little bit older than you. Like I said, Aquarius, Pisces. But, you know, I think you're staying hopeful but not attached, right? To somebody that you're talking to here. So if you've met somebody in the last few days or a week, I think you're just sort of like, oh, you know, maybe I'll try to talk to somebody different here. I think maybe you're having a shift of perspective when it comes to dating, because maybe you're finding that there's things you like that you never really thought that you would find with somebody, or maybe there's a connection you're making this week where you're like, huh, you know what? I kind of dig that. I kind of think that's cool. I never really was interested in somebody with this particular quality or this particular standard or belief, you know? So I think this is a really nice connection for some of you. And also I feel like you're staying hopeful. You're not being attached to the results, which is really good, because that means you can be open to seeing a lot of, like, many things from many different perspectives, okay? So that's what I have here for you guys, all right? Let's take a look at your angel message. Blah, in closing, blah. I hate when I can't talk, you guys. And some of your side messages. What is with me today? What the hell? All right, let's grab 4. Okay, I grabbed 4. You have the arrow. You are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Okay, you're on the right path. We have the chain of events that will affect your life. I feel like it's going to be in a positive way, like we talked about with the astrology right now. We have the cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. Perfect. Remember, because we had that protection card. Remember that? Protection. And then we have the frying pan, trouble or accusations. Yes. So that's basically what we talked about when it comes to this romantic connection, is the accusations flying of the lies or inconsistencies here with somebody, or even with you, Leo, because I'm not beyond calling y'all out. Okay. If you did it, you did it. Go figure it out. All right, fam. All right. I am very, very much for taking responsibility for myself. I don't like living with like something I might have said or done that, like, when I think about it, I'd be like, does that hurt me? Yes. Maybe that hurt somebody else. Maybe I should say something, you know what I mean? But I just refrain from trying to do too much anyway, you know? Anyway, what's the angel message for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Leos, please don't forget, give it a like. Don't forget to sub if you're not already subbed, and come on back and see me. Also, if you're interested in doing private readings with me or any kind of coaching with me, you can find those links in the description box down below. It is one whole link. It is in between 2 little stars. Please do not email me, guys. Please do not email me. All right. for readings because I can't set them up. I'm going to end up sending you a link anyway, so you might as well just use the link. All right, my friends. Focus on service this week. Be a unicorn this week. It says, your soul desires only to joyfully serve and to swim in a constant stream of bliss. This stream continuously feeds you everything you need. Put your entire focus upon staying in the stream of giving and receiving in every situation and in all that you do. All right? So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you later. Bye.